Now on CoastTV News.
Black Friday at the beach will give you a morning look at what businesses hope will be a busy and profitable day.
Somber Capitol procession. The overnight dignified transfer of the National Guard member who died following this week's shooting. How President Trump is responding to the tragic event.
Temperatures are in the 20s and 30s this Friday morning. It's going to be a sunny, blustery Black Friday on the peninsula. I'm tracking a cold start to the weekend and the threat of a coastal storm next week.
Bad night in Baltimore.
To the end zone, one hand got in by Hudson.
Why it is not a Turkey Day delight for the Ravens.
This is CoastTV News Today.
And we're giving you a look at Coastal Highway in Rehoboth Beach. In the distance are some of the buildings that make up one of the Tanger outlets. It is Black Friday, and we do expect it to be busy later today in this area. And that is how we are starting this hour, Friday, November 28th, 2025. Good morning. I'm Matt Pensick.
Good morning, Matt. I'm Grace Eckerly. Thank you for being up with us during our 6 o'clock hour.
And it might be time actually to get a workout this morning or later today. Walking and shopping could be a good way to do that.
That's a fantastic.
Big meal yesterday.
It's actually my favorite form of cardio is walking and shopping, especially after a fun, family, friend-filled holiday.
Two things
Most
in one exercise.
Yes. Very important. Very important. During now to First Alert meteorologist Chris Mastrobono. Chris, are you going to get your steps in walking around this Friday?
That's a good idea, Grace. Good morning, Matt and Grace, and hope Thanksgiving was a wonderful treat for everyone on Delmarva. We had the cold. We've been talking about it, and it is here. Getting some steps in this morning and afternoon. You're going to want to bundle up. Temperatures right now in Cambridge, we're at 35 degrees, and you can see temperatures across the region. We're at 32, Milton 33, Georgetown 33, Salisbury 34, Indian River Inlet. The wind is going to be really the issue today. We're seeing gusts 25 Indian River Inlet. They'll pick up even more through the morning. Wind chills right now feels like 24 Rehoboth, 20 in Ocean Pines, and it feels like 23 in Milton. We are clear, we're dry, and we're going to stay that way. Cold air invading much of the east Midwest as high pressure continues to slide east. You can see the lake effect snow as that cold air pushes over the warmer lakes. But for us here on Delmarva, it's going to be a blustery Black Friday. Cold start to the weekend. Now we are going to see milder air briefly on Sunday, and that will bring a threat of some showers, and then a potential coastal storm rolls in Tuesday of next week. As far as your temperatures go today, 29 at 7 a.m. We're at the 41 by around noon under mostly sunny skies, but with the wind, it's going to feel more like the low 30s throughout our Friday. I'll talk more about that coastal storm next week in my full 7-day forecast a little later on.
Thank you, Chris. And our top story this hour is that post-Thanksgiving tradition of Black Friday. And one of the usual hot spots for deal seekers is Rehoboth Beach.
CoastTV's Kevin Zapay now live at the Tanger outlets. And Kevin, stores were scheduled to open just moments ago.
Grace, we are at the Tanger outlets here in Rehoboth Beach, where around 100 stores are opening up here at 6 a.m. And if you take a look right behind me, you'll see a line is forming at Nike. They already let in around 100 people inside the store, and now they're waiting for some to come out so they could put more in. If you check out over here, you'll see the parking lot. Earlier in the show, there was there was some spaces still open, and now you can see just about all the spaces are full. And we'll be sure to keep you updated on the rush of crowds throughout the morning. I'm Kevin Zapay, live in Rehoboth Beach, CoastTV News.
Thank you, Kevin. A lot changed there in just a 30-minute period.
Wow.
Tariffs and inflation, they're adding some complexity to this Black Friday.
And if you're one of those who are heading out to those busy parking lots, experts suggest planning a budget before hitting the stores. Maybe you can do so while you're waiting in line to get in. Amy Kiley now showing us experts' advice in the context of the broader economy.
Today is Black Friday, and it could be slower than last year. The National Retail Federation forecasts nearly 187 million people will shop online or in stores between Thanksgiving and Cyber Monday. That's fewer than the near record number it reported in 2024. Today's shoppers might have added incentive to look for deals. Some face lower disposable income due to higher food and energy costs.
The places where inflation's hitting us leave very little margin for going out and kind of blowing it on a luxury air fryer.
To help people budget, some experts recommend what's called the 1% rule.
Take 1% of your annual income and make that the ceiling, so the upper bound for the entire season. If you make $70K, that's $700 for everything. So for gifts, travel, food, hosting,
This expert suggests starting with that total and then making a list instead of the other way around. She also says limiting transactions could reduce spending.
The number of swipes or purchases is one of the easiest ways to avoid that quiet buildup of all the micro spending and micro swipes that really blow up even the best laid plans.
Research shows some retailers increase prices before Black Friday. That means not all sales offer true discounts, but
Black Friday and Cyber Monday is definitely the best time to get deals. It's not a scam.
I'm Amy Kiley reporting.
And tomorrow is Small Business Saturday, and we've seen local shops here in our area and others across the nation struggle with higher import costs.
We do need to turn to a tragic situation as we're taking a live look at Washington, D.C. on this Friday morning. We have the latest on the shooting that took place in the city just 2 days ago. The body of Sarah Beckstrom, the National Guard member who was shot in an ambush on Wednesday near the White House, was moved from MedStar Washington Hospital Center to the medical examiner Thursday night. The dignified transfer honoring the remains of fallen service member Beckstrom, who passed away last night. Dozens of police, emergency vehicles, and others escorting the van carrying Beckstrom. It was a somber sight as the long procession moved through the streets of the nation's capital. A second National Guardsman still fighting for his life.
And President Trump is launching a sweeping immigration review in the wake of the National Guard. President has ordered a widespread re-examination of asylum cases approved under the Biden administration, as well as green cards issued to citizens of 19 countries of, quote, concern. In June, President Trump announced a proclamation listing 19 countries considered deficient with regards to screening and vetting, which includes Afghanistan, Iran, Haiti, and Venezuela. Last night in Baltimore, the Bengals' Joe Burrow was back from injury. He threw 2 touchdown passes in the second half. The Ravens committed 5 turnovers on the night and losing 32-14. Ravens fall back to 500 at 6-6, and we'll have more on this game later on CoastTV News Today.
Worcester County celebrating a big year in Maryland tourism, taking home top honors across multiple statewide categories. Officials say the awards recognize the creativity and teamwork behind Maryland's coast, from local businesses to regional partners. Some of those winners include the Beach to Bay Heritage Area, Ocean City's tourism campaigns, and Small Business of the Year Division 3. Renee Seiden was named Hospitality Person of the Year, and Michelle Burke honored as Tourism Ambassador of the Year. And here's a little something to help make that turn from Thanksgiving to Christmas. Shellville's Christmas Village in Rehoboth Beach. The attraction has some updated hours for the holiday. It's closed today and Saturday, as Shellville organizers say the decision was made after a request from government officials to help ease traffic. If you were planning on getting into the Christmas spirit, though, the village will reopen on Sunday.
The Rehoboth Beach Christmas tree lighting happening tonight. The city says the event is free, and it begins with a community sing-along by ClearSpace at 6:30. With the lighting scheduled for 7, this year's tree was donated by the state and came from Lewis.
And a new documentary called Deaf Santa Claus making its way to Delaware, and it will premiere at the movies at Midway. The film follows Charles Graves, a man who looks just like Santa, as he trains to become a professional deaf Santa and work to support his family. The screening is December 7th at 2 p.m. and will feature open captions to ensure full accessibility to all of its viewers. The premiere is part of a national rollout celebrating inclusion, identity, and the deaf community. And we're just getting started here on this hour of CoastTV News Today.
Yeah, coming up, we have our cool things to do this weekend as we turn the page on Thanksgiving and look forward to Christmas and shopping.
Also, meme meets menu. What Wendy's is rolling out today tied to the popular 6-7 trend.
Still ahead, snow in the U.S. The areas north of us that are expecting more of that, along with some strong wind gusts. And we have First Alert meteorologist Chris Mastrobono. Look at him. He's right there in the weather center. He doesn't have snow in his forecast. He does have cold temperatures, and we check in with him next.
Good Friday morning, Delmarva. Hope you had a wonderful Thanksgiving. The cold air we've been telling you about, it is here, and it's here to stay at least for the next 2 days. We're at 31 in Lewis, 32 Millsboro, 32 Bridgeville, and we're at 33 in Georgetown. Winds right now anywhere between about 9, Salisbury 16, Indian River Inlet, creating wind chills in the low to mid 20s. Feels like 23 in Milton, 20 in Ocean Pines. We have clear skies and high pressure building in. Big game, South Philly this afternoon. If you're making your way up to South Philly for the game, Lincoln Financial Field will have a temperature right in the low 40s by around kickoff, falling into the 30s, but the wind chill is going to make it feel like the upper 20s to lower 30s. I'll have more on the rest of the weekend, as well as a look at a potential coastal storm next week coming up here in a little bit.
Thank you, Chris. Lake effect snow and gusty winds in the forecast for western New York in early Friday morning. The National Weather Service issues a lake effect snow warning for several counties. And this video on your screen now, taken early Thursday morning in Springville, located in Erie County. It was just one area that saw longer lasting heavy snow and accumulations. Both Springville and Concord saw several inches of snowfall thanks to that lake effect band, and those gusts expected to reach 40 to 50 miles an hour, reducing visibility even further.
Well, we might not have snow here. Salisbury is getting ready to kick off the holiday season with its annual Jingle Jubilee tree lighting. The city says the celebration happens Saturday, tomorrow, November 29th. It's at City Park, and people can enjoy festive fun, including mini golf, train rides, games, hot chocolate, live music, and photos with Santa. And the night wraps up with a big countdown to the tree lighting. Here's something to note, though. Main Street will be closed for safety during the event.
And Wendy's jumping on the popular 6-7 meme trend for a limited time. The fast food chain offering a 67-cent small size Frosty all day today, and that deal runs until December 7th. You can get it by ordering through the Wendy's app or online. The Gen Alpha and Gen Z groups have all been going pretty crazy over the viral phrase 6-7 over the last year, and that meme going as far to even be named dictionary.com word of the year.
Home prices are still rising. National data shows values are increasing more slowly than they were earlier this year. Real estate analytics firm Cotality estimates prices are up just over 1% year over year, while Redfin puts the increase closer to 3%. Federal housing regulators report similar gains, but there's far more agreement on how difficult home buying has become.
Well, it is going to be a blustery Black Friday. Plenty of sunshine, but it's going to feel more like the lower 30s with those wind gusts near 40 miles an hour. We'll begin the weekend quite cold, but end it a little on the mild side and a little on the damp side. We'll talk more about some rain chances Sunday and an even bigger storm next week. The 7-day forecast is up next.
Time is 6:16, and we are giving you a live look at cold Cambridge this Friday morning. And Chris, it's not only the cold that we have to deal with the wind.
Yeah, that's the thing. The winds are really going to begin ramping up later this morning through the afternoon. That's going to create those wind chills, making it feel a lot colder than what the actual air temperature is. We're at the freezing mark in Rehoboth, 31 Milton, 32 Bridgeville, and we're at 33 Georgetown. Winds right now are gusting upwards of near 22 Indian River Inlet. Pretty calm elsewhere, but we're seeing those wind chills right now in the lower to mid 20s. It feels like 24 in Rehoboth, 21 in Ocean Pines, and it feels like 25 in Rehoboth. Gale warning is now in effect. This runs through 2 a.m. on Saturday with winds as high as 30 to 35 knots, and we also have a small craft advisory up for the remaining part of the Delmarva Peninsula as well as the Chesapeake Bay. That runs through 4 a.m. on Saturday. So we have clear skies for much of the mid-Atlantic. You see that lake effect snow kicking in. That's a sign of that Arctic air swinging in through the country. High pressure back off to the west will continue to slide eastward. 33 right now in Laurel, 18-degree dew point, so very dry out there. We're up to 38 by around 10, but those wind chills are going to make it feel like the lower 30s through the warmest part of the day. Tonight, we fall into the 20s. Winds will die down a bit, so the wind chills will still be in the lower 20s as we go into Saturday morning. Winds, as I mentioned, out of the west-northwest, gusts anywhere between 30 to 40 through the afternoon. Now, as we go into Saturday, still cold, not as windy as where we're going to be today. Clear skies through your afternoon and into the evening. Overnight, we remain starry, and into Saturday, mostly clear skies. It's not until late Saturday in through Sunday we'll begin to see clouds increase through the area. 43 this afternoon in Milford, Lewis, 41 in Cambridge with those wind gusts to 40 miles an hour, 43 Pocomoke City. Big night in Rehoboth. We have the tree lighting kicking off the season. It's going to be a cold one, so bundle up, dress warm, maybe grab a hot chocolate. 36, mostly clear skies by around 6:30 this evening. We're going to fall into the lower to mid-20s. 24 Georgetown, 23 Greenwood, 28 in Rehoboth as we make our way into Saturday morning. Sunday, we turn milder. Southerly winds kick in ahead of a front that will bring a brief round of showers. It's going to be rather weak, not expecting a whole lot of rain. 1/10 of an inch to as much as a 1/4 of an inch of rain through Sunday night. It's Monday, we're dry, cold behind the front. Watching this another area of low pressure, a bigger system that will develop a coastal low. You may have seen some snow maps floating along the internet. Right now, it looks rather on the milder side with rain for the Delmarva Peninsula, and that snow line you can see just to the west of the I-95 corridor with the accumulating snow well west of the cities the way it looks right now, but we'll continue to fine-tune the forecast through the weekend. 48 in through your Tuesday with that rain and wind, 45 behind that storm system on Wednesday under partly cloudy skies. Grace.
Thank you, Chris. And speaking of that snow you're talking about, for those who are maybe traveling to Pennsylvania for some homemade pumpkin pie, if you get where I'm going with that, look what they had to deal with. This is near Erie. This area under a lake effect snow warning until Saturday at 1 a.m. They're expecting wind gusts that reach 50 miles per hour, and that could produce some whiteout conditions, not the Penn State kind of whiteout. I'm sure Matt got a little excited about that one. And reducing those visibility conditions down to a 1/4 mile or less at times. Experts forecasting that total snowfall can measure around 20 inches.
Yeah, Grace, you know me so well. As we gear up for winter here on the peninsula, we cannot forget about Giving Tuesday. It's next week. And the Blood Bank of Delmarva, they're hosting 2 blood drives on Tuesday, December 2nd. They're asking people to give blood to help them reach the ideal 7-day supply of blood. Wycomico County, Salisbury University, hosting a drive at the Guerrero Student Union Building. And then in Sussex County, St. Stephen's Church in Delmar is hosting another one as well. The drives are from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. that Tuesday. The blood bank says donors of all blood types are needed. They especially need type O. That is the universal type. Still ahead, don't finalize your weekend plans just yet because we have some cool things to do on Delmarva to tell you about. That's coming up next on CoastTV News Today. You might think the White House has a big team of professional decorators for Christmas, but actually volunteers do most of the work, and one Idaho woman is doing it this year. She submitted a 10-page questionnaire about her experience and skills decorating for Christmas. And after a decade of trying, Angie, you see her there, and she has 300 volunteers from across the country. They were chosen. Each team is committed to 10-hour days, all in the name of Christmas decorating.
Good Friday morning, Delmarva. That well-advertised cold air, it is here. Stepping out the door this morning, maybe doing some early shopping. We're at the freezing mark in Lewis, and we're going to have plenty of sunshine through Ocean City and Fenwick Island, but the temperatures are going to get into the lower 40s, but the wind is really going to be the thing. With the gusts 30 to 40 out of the west, it's going to feel more like the lower 30s, despite air temperatures getting to around 41 in both Lewis and Rehoboth. A windy day on the bay. Cambridge, we're up to 41. With mostly sunny skies, those wind gusts to near 35 miles an hour. Congratulations to Christine Rafter, Lewis, Delaware, on winning an umbrella from Coast TV. And you can always call our Coast TV First Alert weather phone for your latest forecast. I'll have the latest on your weekend coming up in the next half hour.
Thank you, Chris. And maybe you're feeling a little stuffed after that Thanksgiving meal, but there are plenty of ways to get moving this weekend.
Yeah, including Black Friday shopping. Christina DeRobertis has a look at all the cool things to do.
If you're ready to shop small this weekend, the Jingle Bell Bazaar is set for Friday and Saturday at the outlets in West Ocean City. More than 24 local makers are set up with handmade gifts, art, jewelry, treats, you name it. The Grinch will be there on Friday and Santa stops by on Saturday. Next, a chance to give back. Trees of Cheer is back, supporting families at the Ronald McDonald House in Delaware. You can decorate a tree for kids staying at the house or in the hospital, and the extra trees go to families in need. Over at the Georgetown Public Library, the holiday model train display is rolling again for its 14th year. Admission is free and it's on the second floor of the library. For some more details, just head over to our website, CoastTV.com, and click on Cool Things to Do.
Now on Coast TV News.
Store scuffle search. The suspects Seaford police are searching for after a fight at Walmart.
Temperatures are in the 20s and 30s this Friday morning. It's going to be a sunny, blustery Black Friday on the peninsula. I'm tracking a cold start to the weekend and the threat of a coastal storm next week.
Black Friday at the beach will give you a morning look at what businesses hope will be a busy and profitable day.
Maryland Coast celebrated how businesses and organizations were recognized in Worcester County.
This is Coast TV News Today.
November 28th, 2025. Good morning, everybody. I'm Matt Pensick. Good morning, Grace.
Good morning, Matt. I'm Grace Eckerly. Thank you for being up with us today.
It is 6:29 a.m.
So,
on a Friday morning.
Speaking of it being Friday, it's Black Friday. It is past Thanksgiving,
Yes.
and I've been waiting for this, Matt. Matt told me there is absolutely no Christmas. We can't get in the Christmas mood until after Thanksgiving. The clock struck 12, and now I am in full Christmas spirit. And someone who is also in the Christmas spirit, maybe all year round, because I don't know if you ever noticed, Matt, but Chris's name is very similar to Christmas.
I was waiting for you to spring this, so I guess you're breaking the seal today.
Merry Christmas to you. Merry Christmas, Chris.
Thanks for the serenade
Matt?
there, Grace. She's kicking into full gear here for Christmas as we roll into Black Friday. And I'll tell you what, it was a cold Thanksgiving, and we're looking at an even colder day today. We're at 33 right now in Laurel. Sunrise coming up at 6:57 this morning. We're at the freezing mark in Rehoboth, freezing mark in Delmarva, but the wind is going to be the story. We're already seeing gusts upwards of 21 miles an hour in Indian River Inlet. So wind chills right now are in the low to mid 20s Delmarva wide. It feels like 23 in Harrington, 24 Delmar, feels like 24 in Rehoboth, and 21 in Ocean Pines. Clear skies, and we're going to stay dry for the next few days as high pressure continues to slide eastward, locking in that cold air. So we're going to have temperatures rise to the 40s this afternoon, lower 40s, but with wind gusts to near 40 miles an hour, it's only going to feel like 33 by around 1, 34 by around 2. We start the weekend off on a cold, dry note and end it on a milder, wet note with a late shower possible in through Sunday. Then we focus our attention on a bigger storm system that will bring the chance of some, right now it looks like rain. I know there's been talk about snow on the internet, but right now we're going with a more wet solution. We'll talk more about that coming up here in a little bit.
All right, Chris denying those snow allegations. Our top story this half hour is the shopping and the deals all associated with Black Friday and one of the hot spots here in our area, the Tanger Outlets in Rehoboth Beach.
Yeah, that is where we have our Kevin Sapay with the stores there. They opened about a half hour ago. At least that was the schedule. Good morning, Kevin.
Grace, Matt, we're at the Tanger Outlets here in Rehoboth Beach, and this is the same exact spot we stood at our 5 a.m. broadcast, and a lot has changed throughout the hour and a half. First off, the parking. At 5 a.m., there is so many spaces you could choose from, and now there are cars looking for spots to park. Along with this, 6 a.m., a bunch of stores opened up. Lines that were waiting to get inside for those deals started shuffling in. And now it's time for people to find parking, find those deals, and continue shopping throughout the Black Friday. Now, we'll be here at 11 a.m., and we'll be sure to give you an update on how all of that shopping is going. I'm Kevin Zapay, live in Rehoboth Beach, Coast TV News.
Thank you, Kevin. Now time to turn to a more serious topic. President Trump has spoken to the parents of National Guard soldier Sarah Beckstrom, who passed away last night after being shot near the White House on Wednesday. That's according to the White House officials. During a Thanksgiving phone call event with U.S. troops, the president indicated to the press that he planned to call Beckstrom's parents last night. This is what he had to say when asked why this tragedy occurred.
And I don't know how you put this on the scale of that. This is sort of different. This is a terrorism threat, and this was done because they're so effective. If they weren't effective, you probably wouldn't have had this done. But this was done because the National Guard has been so effective.
4 senior U.S. law enforcement officials briefed on the investigation tell NBC News the suspect is 29-year-old Ramanulo Lakanwal. The alleged shooter was granted asylum this year after parole.
Seaford Police Department is asking for your help. Officers are attempting to identify several suspects involved in a fight inside a Walmart on Wednesday. And we have some of the surveillance images right here. So if you recognize any of the people that we're showing you, or you have information about what happened on Wednesday, you are urged to contact Seaford Police.
A new documentary called Deaf Santa Claus making its way to Delaware. It'll premiere at the movies at Midway. That film gives Charles Grave, a man who looks just like Santa, his chance to train to become a professional deaf Santa to work to support his family. The screening is December 7th at 2 p.m. and will feature open captions to ensure full accessibility to all viewers. The premiere is part of a national rollout celebrating inclusion, identity, and the deaf community.
Worcester County is celebrating a big year in Maryland tourism, taking home some top honors across several statewide categories. Officials say the awards recognize the creativity and teamwork behind Maryland's coast, from local businesses to regional partners. Winners include the Beach to Bay Heritage Area, Ocean City's tourism campaigns, and Small Business of the Year Division 3. Renee Seiden was named Hospitality Person of the Year. Michelle Burke was honored as Tourism Ambassador of the Year. And we have a lot more news to get to in this final half hour. Don't go anywhere.
December chill, the East Coast bracing for a polar vortex, what experts are forecasting.
Also, Burrow beats Baltimore in the second half effort that snapped the Ravens' win streak.
Plus, Theater State Showcase. What started as a class project ended with students writing, staging, performing full production in front of a live audience. The heart and hard work up next on CoastTV News Today.
But first, the holiday season is here, and so is the return of our holiday house. This is where people can submit pictures or videos of their holiday decorations, and we'll show them here during our newscast. To start sending in your pictures, head to our website, coasttv.com/holidayhouse.
Good Friday morning, Delmarva. We had quite a temperature whiplash over the last 2 days. We were near 70 on Wednesday, down to 51. We spent actually most of yesterday in the 40s. That high came just after midnight, and right now we have temperatures right around the freezing mark, but the wind chills are in the 20s. Temperature right now 32 Long Neck, 33 Georgetown. We're at 33 in Seaford. Sustained winds anywhere between about 9 to 13 miles an hour, making it feel like 25 in Long Neck, 21 in Ocean Pines. We are clear, dry, but very cold and blustery through our afternoon. So if you're making your way out to do some shopping, wall-to-wall sunshine, temperatures in the low 40s, but with the wind, it's going to feel like the lower 30s. I'll have more on the rest of your weekend and that coastal storm threat next week coming up here in a bit.
Thank you, Chris. And Thanksgiving has came and went. And with December beginning next week, forecasters like Chris say it could be a frigid one. According to the National Weather Service's Climate Prediction Center, the northeastern and northern parts of the country, they're going to be experiencing some colder than normal weather. Some forecasters say the polar vortex could send cold Arctic air toward the middle of the month, and they say it could stretch all the way down the East Coast. And Sussex Academy Theater students, well, they're showing off months of hard work with a special showcase in the round. The one-hour performance featured acts the students chose and staged themselves, with the audience seated all around them. The class spent the trimester learning about performances, spaces, physicality, and memory work, then built the show from the ground up. 16 students performed while others took on tech, costume, lighting, and stage management roles, all working together to bring that beautiful production to life.
The nightcap to an NFL Thanksgiving trifecta, the Ravens at the stadium with AFC North rival Cincinnati. And after a 1-5 start to the season, the Ravens have rolled off 5 straight wins and looking, at least for a few days, to gain sole possession of first place in the division. It was Turkey Day night in the Crab City, seen here on Coast TV. First quarter, Derrick Henry gets Baltimore on the board, going through the first wave, and he is gone. Having a house party, it is 7-3 Ravens. Now, the Ravens, they did have turnover issues. They committed 5 of them on the night, including this fumble here by Lamar Jackson. They also had issues with Bengals quarterback Joe Burrow, back from injury, back to tossing touchdown passes. Just look at that snag there by Tanner Hudson. The win streak, it's over. Ravens lose 32-14. They're back at 500 with a 6-6 record. Steelers coming to town on December 7th. This afternoon, the Eagles are looking to get back on the winning track. To do that, they'll need to get the offense going. At best, you can say the Birds have been inconsistent on that side of the ball. In their last 3 games, the Eagles are averaging less than 16 points, and their inability to score any points in the second half last Sunday was a big reason they lost to the Cowboys. With an offense ranked just 24th in the NFL, the Birds are searching for an identity on that side of the ball.
And we've been able to win games in different ways, and so we've just got to settle in an identity. I think that's more important. Settle in an identity, commit to it, and then we fine-tune those things, knowing that there's going to be some ups, there's going to be some downs, but we're all confident in what we're doing. We're all confident in the direction we're going in, the structure that's in place to do that, and then we go out there and play.
Ertz has only thrown 1 interception this season. He faces a Bears defense that is the best in the NFL in creating turnovers, and kickoff today at the field in South Philly is set for 3 p.m. On Sunday, Washington attempts to snap its 6-game losing streak. The Burgundy and Gold back home inside the Beltway when they host the Denver Broncos. It's right here on CoastTV. Coverage begins at 7, and then stay with us after the game for CoastTV News. About some Saturday football, Indian River going for another state championship. Last week's 14-7 win over Lake Forest propelled the Indians to the title game against Red Lion. 2024, Indian River won the Division I championship. This year they're competing on the Division II level. Kickoff tomorrow at Alumni Stadium on the campus of Delaware State University in Dover is at noon. And we have playoff football tonight in Maryland. 2A semifinal. Y-High makes the trip across the bay to face Huntingtown. And on Saturday afternoon at Alumni Stadium in Dover, Seaford attempts to win its first state championship since 1983. The Blue Jays take on Newark Charter. Coming up tonight on the Delmarva Sports Network, it's a replay of last week's Y-High playoff game with Winters Mill, and at 11, it is the final score. Coming up on Coast TV News today, got one big winner in a beloved holiday tradition. What the owner of the Best in Shows winner says made all the difference.
And I'm running some sales of my own this Black Friday. We got sunshine, we have blustery conditions, 30s by around 9, lower 40s, but it's going to feel like the lower 40s with the wind. I'll talk more about how long the cold air is going to stick around. A coastal storm possible next week. My full forecast next.
Well, the time is now 6:44 a.m. as we're taking a live look out into Lewis as the sun is coming up. And Chris, Kevin showed us the mass amounts of people at the Tanger outlets. Lots of people out shopping this morning on Black Friday, and they're in for a pretty cold day.
Yes, they are. Bundle up, grab a hot chocolate, some coffee, and we're going to be seeing the wind chills in the lower 30s. In fact, during the warmest part of the day today, as you'll see here shortly, we're at the freezing mark, Millsboro, Long Neck, and Rehoboth, and we are at 33 in Georgetown. You can see the wind flow out of the west. We've seen gusts anywhere between about 15 to 20 throughout the morning, and that's creating wind chills mainly in the lower to mid 20s. Feels like 23 Willards, 21 Ocean Pines. It feels like 24 in Milton, and where it feels like 25 there, Indian River Inlet. And we do have a gale warning that continues through 2 a.m. Saturday. That's due in part to those strong winds that we're expecting to roll over the peninsula through the afternoon and into the evening. And we also have a small craft advisory up through the Chesapeake Bay. We are clear, we're dry, and we're going to stay that way over the next 2 days. You can see the streaming bands of lake effect snow as that Arctic air streams over the warmer Great Lakes. High pressure back across the plains will continue sliding eastward. We have clear skies in Laurel, 33 degrees. Winds are out of the west at about 6 miles an hour, 38 by around 10. See wind chills by the afternoon only in the lower 30s, and then overnight we stay in the teens and 20s as far as the wind chills go, and then those winds will begin to moderate as we go into Saturday. Wind gusts 30, 35 to near 40 miles an hour through the afternoon, and then those winds will relax as we go into the day on Saturday. Temperatures are going to get in the lower 40s, sunshine, clear skies through the evening. Overnight, starry skies, a cold start to our Saturday, and we're looking at temperatures generally in the lower to mid 40s as we go into Saturday. 43 in Milford this afternoon, 43 Millsboro, 41 in Cambridge. We'll have a high of 43 in Salisbury to 43 in Ocean City. We have the big tree lighting going on in Rehoboth Beach this evening. It's going to be a cold, just a good old-fashioned cold evening on Delmarva. 36 under mostly clear skies. Will fall to 24 in Georgetown, 28 in Rehoboth, 27 in Selbyville into early Saturday morning. Sunday, we see southerly winds kick back in, so we're back up into the 50s. Light showers will develop through the afternoon and the evening as a cold front pushes through the area. In general, we're looking at to about 1/4 inch of rain at most. A more significant storm system may impact the region as we go into Tuesday. A coastal low may pass just to our southeast. bringing in rain. You can see that rain-snow mix line just west of the I-95 corridor and accumulating snow well north and west of the cities, but we'll continue to follow the system through the weekend and fine-tune the forecast. Right now, we are going with a chilly rain for Tuesday, 48 beneficial rain at that. Behind that storm system, we stay below average, low to mid-40s in through Wednesday. Grace.
Thank you, Chris. And it's officially that time of year again for our Bless Our Children campaign. And every year, CoastTV works to make the holidays a little brighter for kids across Delmarva.
And the money you give goes to local charities who then buy Christmas presents. And here's today's Shell Brothers Honor Roll.
From the bottom of our hearts, thank you to the businesses, groups, and individuals who have stepped up to the Shell Brothers Challenge of donating at least $1,000 to the Bless Our Children campaign.
We'd like to recognize those friends now by reading the Shell Brothers Honor Roll in order of amount given in increments of $1,000.
In loving memory of Stacy Dorsch, Atlantic Community Thrift Shop,
Boggs Dish Haroon Post number 123,
Ocean City Elks Lodge number 2645,
Clark & Sons Garage Doors, James Maloney,
Eastern Shore Corvette Club Incorporated,
Cape Henlope and Elks 2540,
Edward Jones Office of Melinda Tingle,
Sons and Daughters of Italy of Ocean City Lodge number 2474,
Tony Tank Tribe number 149, Midway Par 3,
Apgar Turf Farm Inc.,
Chesapeake Urology, Doctors Mark Edney, Mark Shimko, Alyssa Gracely, and Jason Smith.
CJ's Beach Space.
In honor of Bill Hickman, Peninsula Imaging LLC.
Painting in America Made Great Again, Earl Johnson Painting.
In memory of Jean G. and John D. Henry.
Mr. and Mrs. R. Dean Goldsboro.
Evergreen Lodge number 153.
Gnostic Family Charitable Foundation Fund of the Delaware Community Foundation.
Emery's General Service of Millsboro.
Willard's Lions Club. Sean Knoll Ways Limitless Worldwide.
Wheels That Heal Car Club.
Chesapeake Waste Industries.
Waikamico Lodge number 91 AF and AM.
Rotary International Lewis Rehoboth Beach Rotary Club.
Preston Growmark FS.
Pocomoke Elks Lodge number 1624.
American Legion Cinnapunxon Post number 166.
Fillmore Day Real Estate Services LLC.
Accurate Termite and Pest Control.
Delaware Improved Order of Red Men and Degree of Pocahontas.
Idlewild Brewerton Club.
Hawker's Supermarkets.
DJVO Entertainment.
Murray's Residential Service, Dennis and Barbara Murray.
Alan Corman and Son, Inc.
Antique Alley of Bridgehill in memory of Ron Hatfield.
Eastern Shore Auctions by Willie Benton.
ASCP Plumbing and ASAP Total Disposal.
Absolute PDR, Dwayne and Brandy Geis.
David and Luis.
Tylerton Church, Inc. Contractors for a Cause.
Queen City Elks Lodge number 1051.
AccuTrench Contracting LLC.
IV Solutions.
Terra Firma of Delmarva Paving.
Crowley Associates Realty Inc.
ABC Refrigeration Inc. of Bishopville, Maryland.
BYOC Build Your Own Cookie, Chincoteague and West OC.
Corrado Construction Company.
The Caronville Foundation.
Tops Cutoff DJ Services and Recording Studio.
William Porter.
HVAC Services Unlimited Inc.
Shore Fund Tractor Pullers.
Eastern Shore Region Antique Automobile Car Club. Harry and Jenny Davis.
Collins Wharf Sod.
Brittany McKinley, in loving memory of Ava Lee Quinn, Jim and Nancy McKinley.
Missionary Baptist Church.
Selbyville Elks Lodge, number 2173.
King Crop Insurance in memory of Bonnie King.
Sons of the American Legion, number 123. Richard Jordan, in memory of Maurice and Pearl Jordan.
Liberty Concrete and Home Enhancements LLC.
Chris Contracting, Inc.
We appreciate all of you stepping up to the Shell Brothers Challenge as a part of our Bless Our Children campaign.
If you'd like to help, send your carton donation to Bless Our Children in care of WBOC at 1729 North Salisbury Boulevard, Salisbury, Maryland 21801, or you can donate on our website, blessourchildren.org.
Thank you for helping make this season merrier for children on Delmarva.
Happy holidays.
Bless Our Children is administered by the Draper Holdings Charitable Foundation.
A new study explains why certain cats may greet male owners louder than women, and for us folks, this is not a good one here. The data was gathered after cat owners were given body cameras to wear at home, and researchers say the cats meow more frequently when saying hello to their male caregivers. Animal experts suggest cats are more vocal because Grace, men don't always listen. I've not heard that one before.
Story of my life.
Forcing the felines to adjust their behavior when they're with their male caregivers.
Cat. I wonder if that's true at your house, Matt.
That
All
I don't
four of them?
listen or they yell. Probably yes and
Maybe
yes.
both. Well, now turning from some felines to some canines. Looking at our coastal pet of the day, Matt.
On your screen, that is Lady. Lady loves to stay active and loves to play, and she enjoys trail walks and exploring new places. If you want to adopt Lady or Rami, who we had last hour, or any other lovable pet, just head to the Brandywine Valley SPCA.
And if you do, we definitely want to see photos. You can send them to us. Or if you have other photos of your pets and want to show us what makes them so special, you can take a look at your screen now.
Scan that QR code top center, get your friends to Coast TV News, and then watch weekdays from 5 to 7 a.m. to see all the pets we feature.
The time is now 6:55 a.m. and it's time for the things you need to know before you go. If you're setting up your holiday weekend plans along the coast, Shelville's Christmas Village in Rehoboth Beach has got some adjusted hours for the holiday. It will be closed today and Saturday. Shelville organizers say that decision was made after a request from government officials to help ease some of that traffic. So if you're planning on getting the Christmas spirit a little early, that village will reopen on Sunday.
And if you don't feel like waiting to get into the festive spirit, the Rehoboth Beach Christmas tree lighting, that's happening tonight. City says the event is free and begins with a community sing-along by ClearSpace at 6:30, lighting scheduled for 7, and this year's tree was donated by the state and came from Lewis.
And we have some cold temperatures to get you into the Christmas spirit. Temperatures are in the 30s this morning, but the wind is really going to be the story through the afternoon. Those wind gusts as high as 40 miles an hour, creating wind chills in the lower 30s, but we do keep it sunny and dry. Tonight we fall to 24 degrees, 44 into Saturday. Sunny skies, 55 Sunday as southerly winds kick back in, and then a cold front will push through, bringing a light round of showers late Sunday afternoon through the evening. We dry things out into Monday, 45, and then all eyes focus on the potential of a coastal low that may bring rain. Some rumors about snow going around, but right now it looks like primarily rain for the Delmarva Peninsula. If you want snow, Grace, it looks like you're going to have to go west of the major cities at this point. But the good news is, well, bad news if you hate the cold, is that the temperatures are going to stay below average through most of next week in the lower to mid 40s.
So good news for me.
Look, I'm good with a cold December. I mean, I just like to be seasonal, the appropriate temperature for the appropriate season.
All right, well, thank you for that, Chris, and thank you at home for joining us for Coast TV News Today.
And the Today Show is coming up next at 7 a.m.
We'll be back with Coast TV News midday at 11 a.m.
And for even more news and coverage, you can count on, download our Coast TV News and weather apps. Have a great Friday morning, everybody.